Let's speak to Penny Mallory, who joins me now. Good evening to you, Penny. Happy New Year.
Happy New Year to you. Nice to see you.
Nice to have you on the show. I didn't even realise there was a thing as a mental toughness expert. What is that, Penny?
Well, mental toughness is your ability to manage stress, pressure, challenges, changes, crises, that kind of stuff. The better you manage that, the easier and more straightforward your life is. If you fall over every time something changes or you get stressed, then life is really tough, really miserable. So that's really what mental toughness is.
Okay, well, how does one approach challenges, and does it differ? One person can deal with it one way and another, because we always get these sayings, right, about resilience, about manning up, whatever that is. But yeah, do you sometimes have people deal with challenges differently, and that in itself is the difference in terms of how people get through them?
Yeah, and I think the secret to facing a challenge is to first of all step back from it, which a lot of people can't. When you're in the middle of a crisis, you're in the eye of the storm and you cannot see anything clearly. So the first thing is to just take a step back, take a breath and it's like a view from the bridge, because from a distance, something will look a little bit more straightforward, perhaps. And I think when you apply this to New Year's resolutions, of course, people set themselves tasks to complete effectively. And I personally, I think the reason that you can stick to them for a few days or a few weeks and then you just go back to how things were was that you didn't get some really specific, important things in place. So shall I tell you what I think those five...
Yeah, let's go ahead. What is the best way to not just set New Year's resolutions, but also stick to them, Penny?
Yeah, and also, by the way, this doesn't matter what day of the year it is. It applies to any day of the year. It's just the first of the year is always straightforward and clear. So I think most people don't really think deeply about why they're doing something. I want to stop drinking wine during the week, or I want to start getting fit. There's usually a much more important, deeper reason behind their commitment. And if you don't really unpick that a bit, you're more likely to fail, because it doesn't matter that much, because the reason, the purpose of it isn't necessarily clear. So I think that's the first thing.
So we have to set ourselves a purpose, if you like. We're not just trying to lose weight, but we're losing weight for a bigger reason.
And that when you understand the purpose and it's genuine and it's clear, you're highly unlikely to stop doing this thing that's taking you to a place.
Penny, I do that. I actually do that when I approach. I don't do it all the time, but I find that whenever I do achieve something I've set, it was a bigger, wider rationale behind it.
If you have a really deeply important reason underlying something, you are quite likely to succeed at it, because that underlying reason is so important to you. So understand what that is.
Okay.
I think then focus on the specifics. So I want to lose weight. Well, how much weight, by when, and how are you going to do it? So really nail down times, numbers, put numbers on everything. Then it might be a date and it might be a size and it might be a shape, I don't know, but getting specific is really helpful. And of course, then bringing it to life in your mind, imagining it actually being a real thing. Then there's commitment. This is the big one.
Yes, it is.
It is, because most people, there are no degrees of commitment, of course. You cannot be 50% committed to something. You are either committed or you're not. If you're 99% committed, you're not. It has got to be a complete commitment. And I think that's where people trip up. So it's a promise to yourself. It's a promise to your family or your friends. It's a promise you make that you don't break. That's what a real commitment is. Otherwise, you're kind of just having a go. So understand your purpose, focus on the specifics, question yourself, am I truly committed to this, or am I just having a go? Having a go, you probably won't do it. Consistency. Sorry, go on.
I was going to ask, what's your attitude? I mean, as somebody, this is your area of expertise. Do you have a very high success rate in terms of getting those plans and fulfilling them?
For me, I try not to do anything unless I'm fully committed. I have a go at lots of things, but if I'm truly committed, so I'm rowing the Atlantic at the end of this year.
Wow.
I have to row every day. I have to do something for my fitness every day. I have to look at my diet. I have to do a lot of things because I'm 100% committed. So I will not fail at that, because I have to do that to prepare. But pretty much anything I do, I'm either in or I'm out. And it's only because I've been practicing this without even realizing it, to be honest. I'm just that sort of person. I've been doing it forever. So I'm very good at understanding if my commitment is complete or partial. And it's a pain for everyone else around me, because when I'm really committed, I am really focused and really on it. And of course, consistency is super important, because you could do things for a week or 2 weeks, and unless you are doing it forever, then the consistency falls away, the goal falls away, everything goes back to how it was. So it could be a little thing, tiny little thing every day. Consistency is really important. And then the one thing that people forget is that you make a commitment, you make a New Year's resolution, but underlying it, there might be a fear of something I'm scared of. But what if it happened? What if it went my way? What if it didn't go my way? And really having a deep conversation with yourself, what actually is going on here? Why am I not committed 100%? What is really going on? What am I worried might happen? And you know, the one thing that most of us avoid, whatever it might be personally, is probably the one thing that will change everything. And it's having perhaps a challenging conversation with somebody, facing the facts, the real truth about what's going on. Because it's usually that thing that's blocking us, that you get that out of the way and everything's possible. Gosh,
it's so much of this is in the mind, isn't it? Your attitude towards something, fear, as you say, that you might actually achieve your goals, or you might exactly. You just got to get past it, and this is actually a key. When you see people who are successful, it is that control of their mind, if you like. They're not as scared, they're not as fearful. But Penny Mallory, mental toughness expert, thank you so much for your time.